Welcome back to the channel. Today we will travel through the pages of What If Issei Awaken the Boosted Gear Early Part 6. The link to the story will be in the description below, and if you want an update of the current series, join the Discord. Now let's start. Chapter 22, Meet Your New Comrade. The summit begins. Now let's say hello to our other bishop. Ria said as she went to open the no longer chained door. Is there really another bishop like me? Asia said, previously believing she was the only one. That's right. But my brother deemed the bishop's power too dangerous for me to control at the time. But now my brother has given me permission to release them from this room. So everyone, let's go say hello to our new comrade. Ria said, pulling the door open finally. It's so dark in here. Asia said as soon as they entered the room. Ria's went over to an ominous object which Issei could just barely tell because of the darkness looked like a coffin. The seal has been broken. You can come out now. Ria said as she removed the lid. No. I want to stay in here. The devil said as they clung to the soft material inside. A girl like me? Asia said, noticing the light blonde-haired devil. He may dress like a girl, but he is most definitely a boy. Ria said, hugging the frightened devil to help ease his nerves. I can sense something other than demonic energy. Don't tell me. This person is also a hybrid devil. Issei said, making Ria's nod her head. That's correct. This is Gaspar Vladley, a first year at Kuo Academy. And before he became a devil, he was half human and half vampire. Ria said, making Issei and Asia stare at his now visible fangs. But if he is a boy, why is he wearing a girl's uniform? Zenobia said, clearly baffled by this custom. It's just because these clothes are cuter. Gaspar replied with tears and fear in his eyes. Don't cry, Gaspar. Those clothes suit you. You look very cute. Asia said, making Gaspar calm down slightly. A laptop. Issei said, making a further observation of his surroundings with the lights now switched on. Yes. Believe it or not, Gaspar is our main breadwinner when it comes to making contracts. He's been doing them all online since he was sealed in here. Akeno said as she showed Issei the list of the contracts Gaspar had made for just the day. Come on, Gaspy, it's time to go. Kaneko said, grabbing his hand. No, I don't want to. Gaspar yelled, generating a purple light within his eyes. Suddenly, Gaspar was freed from Kaneko's strong grip and vanished from their sight. Is his sacred gear teleportation? Zenobia said, now spotting Gaspar on the other side of the room. Not quite. Gaspar's ability is called Forbidden Baylor View. He is able to stop time of anything he sees. But because he was unable to control it, he was sealed in this room until I had the power to help bring it under control. Oh, where did he go now? Ria said, noticing Gaspar had done another disappearing act. Over here, President. Kaneko said, pointing at a cardboard box which then shook when his position was discovered. Come on, Gaspy, let's go train your power now. Kaneko said, removing the cardboard box, instantly causing Gaspar to panic now. No, I won't go outside. Outside is scary. Gaspar said, trying to resist, but this time Kaneko had a tougher grip on him as she tried to drag him out of the room. Kaneko, you mustn't be so rough on him, he's getting scared now. Ria said, but unfortunately it was already too late. No. Gaspar yelled, making his power activate. Everyone look out. Akeno said as a swarm of bats now appeared and proceeded to attack them. The Gremory group retreated from the room before they were consumed by Gaspar's out-of-control power. I don't want to go outside. Outside is scary. I hate my power. I don't want to see my friends' frozen faces around me anymore. Gaspar said, now bursting into tears as soon as the purple light vanished. Is everyone okay? Ria said, making sure no one was hurt by that sudden outburst of vampire power. After everyone had confirmed their safety, Rias began explaining about Gaspar's past. There's a reason Gaspar turned out this way. Gaspar's father is a vampire from a distinguished family. But his mother is a human. Vampires care even more about pedigree than devils. As a result, Gaspar was discriminated against even in his immediate family. And when he came to the human world, he was treated as a monster. On top of that, he had the troublesome power of being able to stop time. A power that he couldn't control. He was feared. No, it might be more accurate to say he was loathed. You don't notice that anything's done to you when you're stopped, you know. No one wants to be near someone with that power. Ria said, making Issei look slightly sad. I see. Gaspar was treated the same way as Asia. Of course, we know that Gaspar wouldn't use that power to do bad things. But Gaspar hates his power more than anyone. How can I call myself a true king when I can't even help one of my cute servants when he needs me the most? I'm a failure. Ria said, suddenly growing sad. Rias. Please don't worry. Leave this to me. Issei said, making Rias blush and smile. As expected of my Issei. Then we will leave this all to you. Come on everyone, let's head back to the club room and leave this to Issei. Ria said, planting a kiss on his cheek as she walked away leading the group. Issei-san, do your best. Asia said as she walked away. Yeah. Thank you, Asia. Issei said, putting his thumb up towards her. With the hallway now completely empty, Issei sat down with his legs crossed outside of the door. Gasper, listen. It's just you and me now. And I'm sorry, but I'm not moving an inch from this spot until you come out. Issei said, getting nothing but silence back. After a few minutes, Issei looked down at his left arm and then it hit him. Gasper, are you scared? Are you scared of your power? Issei said, making the vampire inside the room look up from the black rabbit teddy he has currently hugging for comfort. I'm scared of my power as well. You see, I have one of the strongest dragons inside of me, and to be honest it scares me. That can't be true. I saw it on my laptop. Your fight against Razor Phoenix. How could someone so strong be scared of their sacred gear? Gasper said, clearly puzzled and reluctant to believe Issei. There is a truly dangerous and destructive power that I have to constantly fight against whenever I use this power. One false move and the power will overpower me and I will become a huge ferocious dragon. Which holds no purpose, only to destroy. But even though I have this fear, I'm still very grateful that I bestowed with the power of this sacred gear. After all, I have experienced loss before when my parents were murdered. I couldn't do anything to protect them at the time. That's why I will continue to use this power to protect those I care about, including you, Gasper. Issei said, making the door open slightly. But even if I'm there, I'll only be a bother to everyone. Gasper said, having no self-confidence. I don't think you're a bother at all. You're my precious junior and you're also my friend. Issei said, making Gasper come out. Issei-senpai. Gasper said as he kneeled down next to him. By the way, Gasper, I thought vampires could only come out at night. But you're just fine and the sun is still up. Issei said as he looked at him. I'm not like most vampires. I have Daywalker blood inside me. Gasper said as he hugged his rabbit. That's amazing, Gasper. You can come out in the sun despite being a vampire, you really are special, Issei said, making Gasper surprised and happy. Gasper, lend me your power to help me protect everyone. If anything scares you, I promise I will protect you and blow it away with my power. Issei said, making Gasper stare at him in awe. Gasper, would you like to try drinking some of my blood? I was told by my mentor that it will help you control your power. Issei said, making Gasper look scared again. I'm scared. I'm scared of drinking blood from a living being. It takes everything I have to just drink transfusion blood. I'm already afraid of my power even now. If it gets worse after that, I don't know what I'll do. Gasper replied. Is it really that bad? I'm jealous of your power, really. Issei said, making Gasper surprised again. Jealous of my power? Of course. With your power to freeze time, it's the perfect way to stop anyone you care about getting hurt. With that power I could easily protect everyone. Issei said, making Gasper start to tear up. You're a kind person, Issei-senpai. This is the first time anyone has said they were jealous of me before. You even gave an amazing example. I thought that this power was just something to be hated. Your power is far from something to be hated. Listen up, Gasper, we have been given sacred gears. If this is a fate we cannot escape, we have to be positive about it. Do you seriously plan on living your life cursing and blaming your power, instead of using it to protect everyone instead? Issei said, making Gasper wake up from his anxiety. Listen up, Gasper. My goal right now is to unlock a new form to help protect everyone. Even if doing so makes the dragon take over more of my body. Issei said, making Gasper stand up in admiration to his senior. That's amazing, Issei-senpai. To wield such legendary power and risk your own life to protect our friends is so awesome, it's something I could not possibly think of. Gasper said, making Issei smile. Stop it, you're making me blush here. Issei said, scratching his head to shy. He truly was embarrassed. It's true though. I think even I have a little bit more courage now too. Gasper said, making Issei place his hand on his friend's shoulder. So what do you say, Gasper? Do you think you can let me train you and help you control your power, so you fight alongside me? Issei said, making Gasper look excited. Yes. Please train me well, Issei-senpai. Gasper said with fire in his eyes instead of fear. Oh, what's this? You seem to be getting along pretty well. A voice said, making Issei and Gasper face the area it came from. Oh, Zenobia, Asia, Kaneko-chan, what are you doing here together? Issei said, curious to what they were up to. Good afternoon, Issei. We came here because Asia has an idea to help Gasper with his condition. Kaneko. Zenobia said, making Kaneko throw something at the vampire's feet. Ah, garlic. No. Gasper said, running away. Zenobia now. Kaneko said, and Zenobia held something in her hand, slamming it onto his head. A paper bag. Issei said, clearly confused. How is it, Gaspy? You're outside your box in your room. Are you feeling scared? Kaneko said, making Gasper look from side to side. Huh, what is this? It's not bad. Gasper said as he felt the paper bag. What's going on? Issei asked. It was Asia's idea. Zenobia said, making Asia blush. It's not that impressive. I'm not very good at talking to people face to face either. But I'm okay on the phone. I was just telling Zenobia and Kaneko that I was fine as long as my face wasn't seen. Asia said with a blush and a smile on her face thanks to the praise. And then I remembered these that I was given to by Kiryu. And then I thought what if we put something over his head? Zenobia said showing a couple of condoms she had. Geez that Kiryu again Issei replied. How is it? Does it look good on me? This is nice I like it. Gasper said as he walked around the room like a zombie or some kind of monster. If I wear this I might be able to gain a reputation as a vampire. I'm sure you can Gasper. Issei said nervously as he stared at the transformed Gasper. Thank you very much everyone. With this I'm sure I can get over my fear and be useful. Gasper said making everyone smile. So are you ready to get started with your training? Issei said getting back to business. Yes. Please train me well. Gasper replied almost immediately. After both Kaneko and Zenobia failed with their method of training of Gasper chasing him with durandal and garlic, Issei and Asia brought out a cage box full of volleyballs. What are those for Issei-senpai? Gasper said curious to what Issei was planning. Before you use your power again, it's important you learn how to concentrate your ability so you can freeze what you want to and to prevent you from freezing what you don't want to. That way you won't have to fear affecting us as well, Issei said, making Gasper understand. Hey you're going throw those at me. Gasper said as Issei began to pelt one his way. This is the only safe way to train your power. You have to stop the ball alone if you want to avoid getting hit. Here goes. Issei said as he spiked the ball. Gasper was in a state of panic but tried to concentrate his power on the ball. Unfortunately, Gasper wasn't precise enough and froze Issei's arm instead of the ball itself and as a result was hit in the face by the ball. I'm sorry Issei-senpai. I'm useless after all. Gasper said putting on his paper bag to hide his shame. Issei took the bag off his head and then spoke to the miserable devil. I'm fine Gasper so let's do it again. Instead of being down when you fail, keep trying and face your problems head on. I need your power to help protect everyone. Issei said making Gasper get a new determination. Yes Issei-senpai. I will try my best. Gasper said resuming the training program. After a night of training, Gasper stopped freezing Issei's arm and managed to stop the ball twice out of 20 balls. But this didn't upset Gasper, for he was learning control now and gave him the motivation to keep trying. The next day, an amethyst barrier now surrounded Kuo Academy. The time had finally arrived now as the Gremory group were in the process of preparing for the leaders' summit they were about to attend. Alright then we are off. Gasper be a good boy while we're gone, Ria said to the vampire who popped out of his box. Okay if something shocks you into activating your power, it will be trouble. Please understand Ria said making sure Gasper understood. Okay. I'll have Kaneko stay with you. Okay Kaneko. Yes President, Gasper be good. I'll let you borrow this. Issei said handing him a portable gaming device. I've also brought plenty of snacks. Kaneko said opening a huge box full of treats. I'll also leave the paper bag here in case you get scared or lonely. Issei said making Gasper smile. Thank you Issei-senpai. Gasper said now playing the game. That's a good boy. Issei said now standing up. Well then everyone, let's go. Ria said as she exited the clubhouse leading her peerage to the summit meeting room. Chapter 23 The Leaders' Summit Invaded. A traitor in the room? Excuse us Ria said as she opened the doors to the meeting room. Issei had a surprised expression on his face as soon as he saw all the powerful people who were present. There was Surzich as the Demon Lord, Saint Michael, Azazel, Vali the White Dragon Emperor and to Issei's greatest surprise, Ajuka Beelzebub the creator of the evil pieces. Zenobia tried to hide her sad expression when Irina who stood behind Saint Michael turned her head away in disgust. Allow me to introduce you. This is my sister and her family. They did very well in their recent battle with Kakabiel. In fact, thanks to the Securite, he was defeated and taken care of. Surzich said making Saint Michael smile. Thank you for your hard work. We appreciate the effort. Saint Michael said with a smile. Yes sorry about that. It was one of my species that caused you all some trouble. Azazel said making Ria's a bit cross. Issei placed his hand on Ria's shoulder to calm her down a bit. You're as carefree as always Azazel. Issei said knowing him all too well. All the representatives are here. Let's begin the conference. Surzich said making the atmosphere tense all of a sudden. When the conference began, Riaz was instructed to give her report on the battle with Kakabiel. These are the incidents in which I, Riaz Gremory and my family have taken part. Riaz said making Sona verify her report. I, Sona Citri, testify that she has said nothing but the truth. Sona said as the screen disappeared. Thank you, you may step back Surzich said making Riaz and Sona organize their papers and step back. Thank you, Riaz-chan, Sona-chan. Serafal said making Sona blush. I'd like to hear the General of the Fallen Angel's opinion on Ria's report. Surzich said proceeding further with the topic. There's nothing much to say. Kakabiel acted of his own accord. Azazel said, making Michael reply. Are you saying it had nothing to do with you? Michael replied back. I was waiting to find out what he was up to. Looks like he never expected me to come to the city personally. I like this place. Azazel said, going off topic now. Please stay on topic. Surzicha said, controlling his patience. I sent the Emperor of White Dragon to take care of him. However, the Red Dragon Emperor managed to deal with him before he had a chance to step in. Kakabiel is now locked up in an ice prison in the depths of hell for eternity. I assure you he won't be coming back. Azazel said, making Michael stare at him. Our concern here is Kakabiel's methods. He said that he was not content with your decisions. Saint Michael said, making Azazel reply back. Yeah, he was pretty mad that I decided to pull out when we were on a roll. He was very hungry for war. But I've got no interest in war anyway. Azazel said, making Seraphil chip in this time. He was an unstable individual, then. I've heard a bunch about you guys too. That has nothing to do with this conference. Today's conference is, yeah, I get it. How about we skip the rambling and sign this peace treaty already, Lord of Devils? You guys were getting ready to do that anyway, right? Azazel said, surprising all in the room. What are you trying to say, Fallen Angel? Ajuka said, curious of his motives. This standoff that we're in. It's really bad for us to keep it going like this. Don't you agree? Azazel said, making everyone think for a second. The ones who started the war, God and the Satans, are gone after all. Saint Michael said, making both Asia and Irina have a sad expression, making it clear to Zenobia that Irina has in fact been told about God's death. That's why we've got two guys here who, although not part of our standoff, have the power to change the world. Securite and Hacker Yudo. I'd like your input on this. Azazel said, now curious to hear their opinions. I just want strong guys to fight. Bali said, making Azazel smile. You don't need a war to find tough guys. Then what about you, Red Dragon Emperor? Azazel said, making Issei answer straight away. I have no intention of using my powers for anything other than to protect Rias, my comrades, and the people I care about. So I would prefer to avoid pointless bloodshed. Issei said, making Azazel get a grin on his face as he looked over at Rias next to him. And if we're at war, then Rias won't be able to sleep with you. Azazel said, making Rias shocked. Rias began to say but was interrupted by Azazel. After all, if peace is declared, survival and propagation of the species will become the priority. So that means that you will have the perfect excuse to do what you wish with your precious Issei Rias. Anything your heart desires. Every night you and Issei could be making babies together. Azazel said, making Rias blush more. How could you say something like that? Rias said, unable to say much else as Issei immediately stepped in. Azazel, knock it off, you're upsetting the president. Issei said, making Rias smile. Oh? Are you saying you wouldn't desire that I do, Issei? Azazel said, making Issei remember events when he enjoyed being in the president's embrace and those memorable moments when he lost control and his desires surfaced, causing him to remain speechless. I respect Rias a great deal and I would do anything I could in my power to make her happy and all of her dreams come true. Issei said, placing his hand on her shoulder. Anyway, Saint Michael, I have something I wish to ask you. Is that okay with you? Issei said, trying to be as respectful as possible. You helped us a lot by dealing with Kakabiel. So yes, ask me what you wish. Michael said, curious to his question. Then I will get straight to the point. Why did you exile Asia when she was one of your most faithful followers? Issei said, making Asia and everyone else shocked. Asia was so faithful and she still is. So why did you decide to exile her? Issei said, making Rias approach him to try stop him proceeding any further. After God died, only his system remained. You could call it a force that controls protection, mercy and miracles. I am just barely keeping it running, so I had to remove all those who could cause it to malfunction. Michael said to Issei, staring straight at his serious expression. In other words, it's because of her power to heal devils and fallen angels, right? We are maintained by the devotion from our adherents. We must remove any elements that could possibly harm our system. Now looking at Zenobia. And is that why an adherent who was accidentally told of God's passing is also at risk of doing so? Zenobia questioned, feeling an answer was approaching. I suppose it is. We had no choice but to exile you and Asia Argento. I beg your forgiveness. Michael said, bowing his head to her whilst Irina's eyes were finally opened, realizing now her ex-partner wasn't a traitor. There is no need for that, Michael-sama. Being a faithful Christian for most of my life, I had some regrets. But now as a devil, I am happy with my life. Zenobia said with a sincere smile. My apologies to the other people of God present. She added, looking away from Irina. It's the same with me. I too feel happy with my life. I've found so many great people here. Asia said, bowing to Michael. I cannot thank you enough for your forgiving hearts. Michael said, restoring a joyous atmosphere. Now that's settled, I'm curious to see which is stronger, the Red Dragon Emperor or the White Dragon Emperor. Volley said walking towards Issei. I'm sorry, but I have no intention to fight you yet, Volley. Issei said making Volley grin. Oh really? What about if I threaten to kill all of your precious friends? Volley said flipping Issei's switch. What did you just say? Issei said stepping forwards only to be held back by Rias who grabbed his arm. All of a sudden, a huge magic circle appeared over the academy and unleashed a powerful spell freezing all who did not possess the power to withstand its effects. Suddenly, everyone except the four, including Grafia, who used their power to remain in motion, the two heavenly dragons and Rias who held onto Issei's arm at the time, and those who wielded holy swords, were now frozen in time. What's going on? Issei said as soon as he noticed time had stopped and his sacred gear was now activated. Has time been stopped? Rias asked still holding onto Issei. It seems like it. We weren't affected due to our immense power. And Issei and Volley had their dragons. It also appears that those guys were protected by their holy swords. I'm alright thanks to you. As expected of my Issei. Rias said holding his hand now. Oh looks like we have company. It looks like mages. Azazel said looking out the window as hundreds of cloaked beings emerged from the magic circle in the sky. Hang on a second, I'm the magical girl here. Seraphil said referring to her cosplay costume she wore at the class open house session. Wait a second, does that mean Gasper and Kaneko-chan are in trouble? Issei said realizing the worst. It seems they forced a half-vampire's ability into balance breaker state. It's most likely that your comrade is in the hands of the enemy. Rias. Issei said seeing Rias was infuriated. There is nothing more insulting than having my family used by some terrorists. Rias said with her fists clenched. It seems they have also managed to disable our transport magic circles. Surziches said. Big brother, I left an unused rook in the club room. I'm going to use the castling method. Gasper is my family. I will take him back personally. Rias said prepared to save Gasper. You mean the method in which a king can switch places with their rook? Issei said clearly familiar with the evil pieces but not entirely aware of all the techniques. We can't possibly send you alone. If we could borrow Surzich's power, we could send someone else with you. Grafia said making Issei step forward instantly. Please allow me to go with her. I promise I will protect Rias. Issei said looking at her older brother. Then I'll leave it to you Issei-kun. Keep my sister safe. Surziches said making Issei nod. Of course you can count on me. Why make all this fuss when all we have to do is kill the half-vampire? Want me to do it? Volley said making Issei angry. Why you? Issei said only to be silenced when Azazel interrupted. Have you not been paying attention Volley? We're trying to make peace here, Azazel said making Volley back down. I just can't stand doing nothing. Volley said clearly bored. Then, why not go screw up our friends outside? They ought to panic a little when they see the White Dragon Emperor. Alright. Volley said as he vaulted out of the window with his wings deployed. As soon as Volley reached the outside, he deployed his balance breaker and began to reduce the enemy's numbers immediately. Rias, let's bring Gasper back in one piece. Issei said holding Ria's hand as they both stood in the magic circle. Hold on a second you two. Red Dragon Emperor, face me a second. Ajuka Beelzebub said making Issei comply. What was that just now? Issei said feeling a sudden warmth in his chest. I have just modified one of your evil pieces for you. This should help you good luck. Ajuka said as they resumed transporting. A blinding crimson light shone throughout the room and then when the light dimmed down, only a red rook remained where the two once stood. All of a sudden, Rias and Issei as soon as they reached the old clubroom, turned around to face the window as soon as they heard the huge explosion which caused the meeting room they previously left to implode. Big brother. Rias said showing true concern for the demon lord. Azazel and someone else are fighting. Issei said making Rias Gremory's eyes shoot wide open. Why is she here? Rias said making Issei have eyes on her. What's wrong Rias? Issei replied noticing Ria's worrisome gaze. Kateria Leviathan. You've heard that when the old Satans passed on in the Great War the new ones took their place haven't you? Yes Urziches and the student council president's sister told me. The devils were in disarray after the long fighting. To the point where continuing the war may have put them at the risk of extinction. However, since the descendants of the old Satans wanted to battle until their last breath, they were sent to the edges of the underworld. Kateria is one of them a descendant of the old Leviathan. Rias said looking serious now as she stared at the old Satan. It will be okay Rias. Come on let's go save Kaneko-chan and Gasper. Issei said holding her hand. Rias smiled and nodded following after Issei as they ran towards the clubroom. Rias did not wait for an invitation blasting the door open with her magical power. Giving Issei the opportunity to take them by surprise taking down 3 mages. A devil. But how we sealed off their transportation circles. I'm sorry President, I was completely off guard. Kaneko said as she hung upside down on the magical table. It's okay. I'm just glad the two of you are safe. I don't know what kind of tricks you used to get here. But make one move and I'll slice this devil's throat. The mage said with a knife in her hand. President. Please kill me. You're all better off with me being dead. I'm a coward and I'm useless. And my power is just causing you more trouble. The half-vampire said with tears in his eyes as he failed to control his own power. Don't be silly, I told you when I met you to live for me and to find a life that will make you happy. You are my servant and my family. I will never abandon you. President. Riaz. Gasper said still in tears. Don't make such stupid speeches. You should have brainwashed this monster long ago and used it as your tool. The mage said firing a magical blast at Riaz. To the mage's surprise, Issei blocked it effortlessly allowing his master to speak again. I'm sorry, but I care about my servants. Don't go planning innocent you vile devil. She said firing 3 more blasts which Issei once again blocked. Gasper, cause me all the trouble you want. Time after time I will scold you. And console you. I'll never let you go. Riaz said making Gasper cry more. You heard her Gasper. Stop running away. Don't be afraid. Don't cry. Me, President, Akeno-san, Asia, Kiba, Kaneko-chan, Zenobia. We're all your friends. We're never going to abandon you. Boost. Ascalon. Blade. Issei. What are you doing? Riaz said as Issei cut his own hand letting loose drops of his own blood. But first Gasper, you have to take the first step. Issei said thrusting Ascalon right towards Gasper's face splattering drops of his own blood onto Gasper's cheek. You're a member of the Grimoires. Show us that you're a man. Gasper. Issei said causing Gasper to lick the blood and to release himself and Kaneko from captivity. He stopped time. But how? We had his sacred gear sealed. The mage said as a swarm of bats attacked her and her comrades. Suddenly, all of the mages found themselves being restrained and strangled by purple shadow-like hands. It's sucking our blood. It's sucking out our power too. One of the mages who was not yet captured tried to escape Gasper's fearsome power. However, Kaneko dealt with her quickly with a kick to the mage's chin. It's a part of Gasper's hidden power. It must have been unleashed thanks to your blood. But where did you learn to do something so reckless? When I was growing up with your brother, he made me study all about dragons and also other species including vampires. I went to Azazel asking about this and he told me about a dragon's blood and the power it contains. Suddenly, a magical blast almost hit Issei when it was immediately frozen in time by Gasper. It's useless, I can see your every move. Gasper said in an echoed tone as he now froze all of the mages. Issei-senpai, finish them. Gasper said with his eyes glowing red. Leave it to me. Issei said as he knocked each mage out so they could no longer fight. After the mages were defeated, Gasper transformed back to his original form. Here this should keep your power under control. Issei said placing a special armband on him that Azazel gave to him just before they departed. Thank you. Alright Issei, Gasper, Kaneko. Let's go back to the others. Riaz said as she walked through the open doorway. Yes President. They all shouted as they followed their leader once again. Chapter 24 Clash of the Heavenly Dragons. Fight to prove the strongest. After Azazel put Kateria down for good with the use of his sacred gear's balance breaker and the help of the dragon contained inside Fafnir. Issei, Riaz, Kaneko and Gasper returned to the battlefield. And now the only job left was to hold off the intruders until the gate they were entering from expired and closed off. Big brother, please take care of Gasper for me. Riaz said as she led her servant into the fortified force field with the rest of her servants who were still frozen within time. I understand. Be careful Riaz. Surzicha said whilst he continued to maintain the high-tiered barrier. President Riaz. Gasper shouted as soon as Riaz left the barrier and forged a huge magic circle when the mages fired their magic power at her. Only Riaz could create a defensive barrier that powerful Surzicha said as she pushed back the mages' attacks. Riaz's barrier had reached its limit shattering to pieces and caused Riaz to fall to the ground. Riaz look out. Issei said when he stabbed the mage which tried to harm her. It's all my fault. Gasper said looking at his friends who were being severely outnumbered. President Riaz. Issei-senpai. I want to be a man, like you senpai. I want to live up to your expectations, President. So I'm going to fight for my friends. Gasper said as he removed the armband sealing his powers. Stop that Gasper. Please stop him big brother. I am a man. Gasper said enveloping him and everyone else in the area in an enormous amethyst light. As soon as the light faded away, it was apparent what had just happened. Did Gasper regain control of his powers and dispel his magic? Riaz said as those who were frozen suddenly became mobile again. The enemy's gate has been disabled too. Surzicha said observing the gate disintegrating. That's one less thing to worry about then. Serafal said now going towards Sona now she was awake. What's going on here? Sona-chan welcome back. Big sis. You did it. Way to go, Gasper. Issei said, looking straight at him. Gasper collapsed after exhausting all of his power. Luckily for him though, Asia was right behind him and caught him. What's going on? Asia said, clearly confused of the situation. There is no time to explain. Everyone fight for your king and lend me your power. Rias as she took flight. Yes, President. Akeno said as she transformed into her white robe outfit and concentrated her lightning magic. After a colossal and hard-fought battle, the Citri and the Grimoires managed to defeat all of the invaders. However, little did they know, the real battle was about to begin. All of a sudden, a huge crater was created by an unknown force which pummeled him into the ground. What the? Issei said when he saw the fallen angel crash through the ground. Ow. I must be getting old. So care to tell me what's going on, Vali? Azazel said, staring up at the White Dragon Emperor. My apologies, Azazel, this side seemed more interesting. Vali said as he floated above. Hey Vali, I want to ask you something. Shamhaza, my governor, noticed that rebels from the three great factions were banding together. The Cows Brigade, was it? Azazel said as he took flight. Cows Brigade. Surzicha said, surprised by the name Azazel just said. A group of rebels. There aren't many guys who can control a bunch of guys like that. Seraphol said, also surprised. And their leader is the Ouroboros dragon, Office. It can't be. The legendary dragon god of infinity, the strongest dragon, why would she be leading a group of rebels? Issei said in response to the name. Indeed, I am working with Office, but neither of us want to rule the world. Some idiots came after us for our power. That explains a thing or two. So that's why you got so friendly with Kateria, because you both couldn't become Satans. Neither of you. Explain yourself, White Dragon Emperor. Ria said, clearly baffled by that statement. My name is Vali Lucifer. I am a descendant of a previous Satan. Sired by the grandson of a pure-blooded Satan and birthed by a human woman. I'm a half-devil. Impossible. Ria said, now confused to how he could exist without being heard of. More importantly, Haidu Issei. Fate is truly cruel for you. Through my veins contains the blood of a Satan and a dragon. However, I have observed your battles since you became a devil. You are strong and have defeated many powerful opponents. Like the immortal Phoenix Razor and Kakabiel. You truly deserve the title of a heavenly dragon. Which is why I'm curious to see which of us is stronger. So come. Fight me, Securite. Vali said, concentrating his power. I refuse. I see no point in fighting you now, all of my friends are safe. Issei said, making Vali irritated. If that's the case, then how about I kill the woman you cherished the most? Ria's Grimoire. Vali said, generating a powerful blast and sending it straight for the devil. Dragon shot. Issei shouted, blasting away his attack. Are you ready to fight me now, Haidu Issei? Vali said, suddenly feeling a huge rise in magic power come from below him as the flames began to rise. Vali. I will never forgive you. You bastard. Balance break. Issei said with his resolve clear and found. Welsh Dragon Balance Breaker. Look, Albion, Haidu Issei's power is beginning to increase. A sacred gear's power comes from its wielder's will. He's consumed with blind rage toward you. Rage, of all feelings, is the most effective in powering a dragon. Albion said, making Vali smirk. If that's the case, then he's a more suitable host for a dragon than I am. Vali said, still treating this like a game. Shut your damn mouth already. Issei said, suddenly smashing his fist into Vali's helmet, making his human eye visible again. Such speed. Now this is more like it, Haidu Issei. Vali said, distancing himself and then charging straight towards Issei. Vali. Issei shouted as he charged towards the dragon who dashed in his direction. The two met in the middle of the sky where their mighty fists collided with each other. Causing a huge explosion of power, destroying the terrain and the ground beneath them. Issei. Ria said as she ran towards the battlefield until she felt a hand grab her arm. No, Ria, stay here. Surzicha said, holding her back. Big brother, let me go, I have to help him. Ria said as she tried to wriggle free. Their auras have exceeded their limits. You'll burn to death if you go near them now. Surzicha said, refusing to let her go. But I can't just watch them. Ria said as she stared at the incredibly fast white and red light smashing into each other. Your power is amazing. I wonder if I kill one of your friends if your power will get greater, Vali said, only to feel the wrath of the Red Dragon Emperor. Boost. 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 That's enough. Issei said as he drove his fist into the gem on Vali's chest, breaking his armor and forcing him to the ground. Vali and Issei touched their feet on the ground and now stood in silence. Impressive, you managed to break my sacred gear. However, this battle is far from over. Vali said as he rematerialized his armor. Stop talking and fight. Issei said, charging Vali this time. It's time to show you a bit of my power, Haidu Issei. Vali said as he drove his fist into Issei's gut. Divide. Divide. What is this? I feel weak all of a sudden. Issei said as Vali hit him again. this time causing him to cough up blood. "This is my power divine dividing," Volley said, this time his fist being caught by Issei. "Then I'll show you a bit more of my own power. Ascalon. Blade. Face the power of the Dragon Slayer," Issei said, now chasing after the retreating Volley. Issei tried to slash at Volley's head, but to no avail. His attack was dodged and then heavily countered. Volley ducked and then delivered a painful uppercut to Issei's chin. Divide. Issei's Ascalon disappeared back into his sacred gear, leaving him no choice but to use his fists alone to fight the vanishing dragon. Issei sent a roundhouse kick towards Volley. However, once again Volley blocked his attack and countered, this time punching Issei in the gut. And then with an axe kick, sent him hurtling towards the ground. Divide. Divide. Issei. "You mustn't, Riaz, it's too dangerous," Surzicha said, still insistent on keeping her out of this. "I'm okay, Riaz, just wait a while. I'll finish him now," Issei said as he got to his feet. Issei let out a mighty roar as he concentrated both his demonic and dragon's power to form a magical blast in his fist. Boost. 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 Dragon shot. Issei yelled as he unleashed his signature move. The Crimson Death Beam approached Volley at a quick pace and was moments from making impact. "That won't work," Volley said as his sacred gear began to counter Issei's attack. Divide. 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 To Issei's disappointment, by time the blast made contact with Volley, the once deadly blast was now the mere size of a pebble which the vanishing dragon easily crushed. Issei collapsed to his knees and began to cough up blood. "What's going on? I feel so weak right now. I can't use my magic power. Damn it," Issei said as he smashed his fist into the ground. "It seems that the White One has been using Albion's power to drain you of your power and to absorb it for his own use. This is bad, partner. Your power to maintain the balance breaker is draining fast." "Damn it. Isn't there anything I can do?" Issei said as he felt helpless on the ground. "Is that all you have, Red Dragon Emperor?" "Pathetic," Volley said to Issei as he kneeled on the ground. "Damn it, Volley, this fight isn't over yet. Wait a minute. That's it. What is it, partner?" "I have a plan. Are you with me, partner?" Issei said as he picked up the cracked orb of the vanishing dragon. "Interesting. As always, you never fail to surprise me, Haidu," Issei. "But are you prepared to die?" "Die? What are you talking about? I'm not going to die when I have such an amazing life to return to now. I'm going to use all of my strength to do this. I am fully prepared for this. Are you with me, Drake?" "Of course, partner. I will match your resolve and lend you all of my power." "Are you ready, Haidu?" Issei. "What are you mumbling about over there?" "It's over, accepted, security." "This is far from over, Volley. If you have taken away my own power, then I will just steal some of yours to defeat you," Issei said as he lifted the orb and smashed it into the ground. "Ah. It hurts. Fuck, this really hurts. But this is nothing compared to the pain and sadness on my president's face if I were to let it all end here," Issei said as he held onto the hand containing Volley's power. "It's impossible. We heavenly dragons are polar opposites. Once again the Red Dragon Emperor's host will be destroyed by his greed for power," Albion said as Issei struggled to endure the pain. "White One, if there is anything I have learned from my host, it is that no matter how impossible something may seem to him, he will use all of his power to defy the impossible," Drake said as Issei began to minimize the pain. "I refuse to die here," Issei said as his hand was consumed in a white light. "Vanishing dragon. Power is taken. Impossible. How did he steal my power? Interesting. So interesting. I have never enjoyed fighting someone so much before. Now come and show me your true power, Haidu," Issei. Volley said as a huge crimson aura surrounded the now re-energized Red Dragon Emperor. "I would use the power I regained from your sacred gear to finish you," Issei said as his fists both shone crimson red. "Partner, congratulations, you achieved the impossible. However, as a result some of your lifespan has been reduced. I don't care, I would have died anyway if I didn't. I don't plan to live too long anyway. Just long enough to make all of her dreams come true for all her kindness she has given me. Drake, help me by lending me all of your power so we can finish this quickly," Issei said as the crimson aura grew larger. Issei used his dragon jet boosters to crash straight into Volley and then unleashed a combination of ferocious punches. Each time using Volley's own power against him. Divide. 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 Issei kicked Volley away and then resumed his power charging. Boost. 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 Here I come vanishing dragon volley. Crimson dragon cannon. Issei fired 2 separate dragon cannons and then at the middle combined them together to unleash a mighty blast which consumed volley whole. Issei crashed down to one knee after his attack used up most of his energy bringing him back to the ground. Volley fell next and created a crater where he fell. Is it over now? Akeno said unable to see if Volley was defeated or not. I'm afraid not. Azazel said as the White Dragon Emperor stood up again. Interesting. You're so interesting, Haidu Issei. I can't stand this anymore. You have certainly earned it. I will now show you my full power. My Juggernaut drive. Volley said, a silver aura suddenly surrounding him. No, don't do it, Volley. Issei said, fearing this power. Volley grinned and held his fist into the air as he began to chant. I who shall awaken am the heavenly dragon who lost all to the principle of domination. I envy the infinite and yearn for the dream. I shall be the white dragon that masters the path of domination. I shall lead you to the farthest limits of innocence. Juggernaut drive. No, not that. Not the Juggernaut drive. Issei said. Breaking out in a sweat as he held onto his left arm. Volley's eyes had increased exponentially, giving him the appearance of a true and powerful dragon. Now allow me to show you true power. Volley said as he partly closed his hand like he was trying to grab something. Half dimension. Suddenly space and time began to distort like it was being bended out of place. So you're now frozen in fear by my superior power. Fear not, it will be over soon. Volley said as Issei stayed in his own world. Voices in his head tormented his mind. It's time, you said. You must kill him. The only way to defeat the White One is to walk the path of the ruin. You must use Juggernaut drive. Say the sacred chant. Never. I won't use that power. Issei yelled out loud expressing his pain. If you're not going to fight me, then I will kill everyone you care about. Volley said as he unleashed a deadly blast at Rias and her peerage. Issei's body moved without thinking and blocked the blast. Ah! Issei yelled as half of his armor was demolished. Issei. Hang in there, Issei. Rias said as she tried to embrace his blood-dripping body. Use your Juggernaut drive, Issei. Or I will kill every last one of them. Volley said, making sure Issei got back to his level. This time Volley blasted Issei with 2 magical orbs combined together, increasing the pain even more. How boring. I may as well finish this then. Volley said as he this time generated magical power through his throat. Issei suddenly collapsed, beginning to fall to the ground. Rias caught Issei and hugged his blood-stained face into her chest. Issei was currently unconscious. However, he was awakened when he felt a cold liquid on his face. When he opened his eyes, Issei realized it was Rias' tears hitting his cheek. Rias. Issei said as he put his hand on her cheek. It's okay, Issei. If it is the end, then I will disappear with you. I won't let you be alone anymore. Rias said, hugging Issei tight. Issei smiled and wiped away her tears. Don't worry, Rias, I'm not giving up just yet. I will protect you all. Issei said, rematerializing his armor as an orange aura surrounded him. A huge portion of magical power began to flow inside Issei, making a warm sensation originate within his chest. Rias. I promise to defeat him. There is so much I want to do with you. I want to go out, just the 2 of us, to somewhere special. I want to make all of your dreams come true. I want to keep everyone safe so we can all live happily together. And most importantly, I want to live with you forever by my side, Rias. Which is why, I promise I will make you proud as your mightiest pawn. Issei said, creating giant cannons on his shoulder. Boost. 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 Issei's giant red armored cannons began to generate a powerful emerald light as the power of the security was transferred inside them. I'm the winner, Haidu Issei. Vanishing impact. Volley unleashed an incredibly powerful breath blast from his mouth, confident with his finisher. I don't think so, Volley. I will continue to live after today. And I will continue to get stronger. Welsh Dragon Bishop Blaster. After Drake announced the new move Issei had unlocked, both of the cannons fired an immense blast which collided with Volley's own attack. However, to Volley's surprise, Issei's new power easily overpowered him and consumed him whole. Volley fell to the ground with his Juggernaut drive completely annihilated. Just as Issei was about to collapse, Riaz and Kiba quickly grabbed hold of him before he had a chance to touch the ground. Great job, Issei-kun. Kiba said, as expected of my Issei. Geez, you're so reckless, you idiot. Riaz said, hugging him tightly. After a few minutes, Volley struggled to his feet and showed his bloody exterior. So you can still stand, Volley? Issei said, knowing full well that if it were not for his friends, he would be collapsing right now. Ha ha. Ha ha. Amazing. So amazing. Your power is incredible, Haidu Issei. As expected of my rival. You've depleted all of my power this time, but I promise next time you won't win. Volley said as he used what was left of his power to deploy his wings and escape the barrier that was long ago destroyed. With the traitor now gone, Saint Michael, Lord Serziches and Seraphil approached the security. A job well done, Issei-kun. As expected of one of Ria's servants. Seraphil said, using her magic power to heal him along with Asia. Thank you for the hard work, Red Dragon Emperor. Thanks to you, Chaos Brigade was unable to start another war. Saint Michael said, walking towards the damaged hero. Saint Michael, I have a favor to ask of you. Issei barely said, trying to speak clearly. What is it, Issei-kun? Michael replied, will you please allow Asia and Zenobia to pray again? Despite becoming devils, they still pray even if they get painful headaches. Issei said, making Zenobia and Asia smile. Zenobia, Asia, would you still like to pray even if the Lord no longer exists? Michael said to the believers. Yes. Even with the Lord gone, I would still like to pray. Asia said, making Zenobia speak as well. As would I would like to pray so I can thank you and the Lord. Zenobia said, feeling grateful. I too would also like to ask this of you, Michael-sama. Irina said, making Zenobia look at her. Irina. I blindly believed that you were a traitor. And I didn't even ask your side. I'm sorry. You have nothing to apologize for. Zenobia replied with a smile. Asia-san. I spoke harshly to you too. I'm really sorry. Irina said with a blush. It's okay, don't worry. Asia said, cutting herself short when Issei collapsed to the ground. Issei-kun, Issei-san, everyone said as they went to the fallen devil. Serziches approached Issei and checked his condition. Don't worry everyone, he's just exhausted. It would be best if you take him home, Riaz, so he can rest. Serziches said, making Riaz create a magic circle. Of course, big brother. Then we'll be taking over leave. Riaz said as they all disappeared in the Gremory symbol magic circle. The next day, Asia and Riaz decided to let Issei sleep in so he could get some well-earned rest. So they headed off to school alone, intending to tell the teacher he was sick. Issei-san really is amazing, isn't he, President Riaz? Asia said with a blush on her face. Of course he is my Issei after all. Riaz said with a blush, not realizing who was coming towards them now as they ventured towards the clubroom. Good day to you, Riaz Gremory and Asia Argento. It is nice to meet you. A stranger said, making Riaz on guard. Who are you? And how do you know our names? Riaz said, feeling threatened now. I see that Haidu Issei isn't with you today then. That makes things easier. The man said again, making Riaz irritated. I ask who you are. Riaz said, feeling infuriated now, sensing this wasn't just a normal human. My name is Ryu Tatsuo and I am planning on taking everything away from Haidu Issei that he loves. Starting with you too. Ryu said, a purple light piercing Asia and Ria's brains, causing them to collapse. It now begins, Haidu Issei. I am going to steal from you everything you love. Ryu said, walking away from the two girls who were collapsed on the pathway outside of the clubroom. Chapter 25. Who are you? Issei sat himself up as he awoke from his well-earned rest. Stretching his arms out as his body began to start up. Issei felt re-energized when he first woke up. Well, the reason being when he realized what time it was. What? It's already 3:15 p.m. Damn, I've missed school. Well, I may as well go to the clubroom to let everyone know I'm okay. Issei said as he got up from his bed. After Issei finished getting dressed into his uniform and made himself look presentable, the brown-haired teen left the house and departed for Kuo Academy. Thanks to Issei's body being back to full health, it took the Red Dragon Emperor no time at all to reach the occult research clubroom. Issei opened the door with a smile on his face. Excited and happy to see his friends. However, Issei's facial expression soon changed when the door was opened. Issei's teeth gritted together when he saw that man with his arms around the crimson-haired woman he loves. What the hell are you doing to her, you bastard? Issei said as he charged the guy who had his hands now groping her breasts. Issei charged the man in a blinding fury. Remembering this was Ryu Tatsuo, the man he faced at the open class session. However, Issei's expression of rage changed to one of despair and confusion when he saw a blinding crimson red light blocking his path. How dare you barge in here unannounced and attack one of my precious servants? Ria said as she projected a high-powered defense Gremory magic circle. You're joking, right? I'm your pawn. Ria's, it's me, Issei. The Red Dragon Emperor said as he stared into her crimson eyes. What are you talking about? My pawn is the one you just tried to attack. Who are you? Ria said, beginning to lose her temper. What's going on here? Ria's, it's me, Haidu, Issei. Have you seriously forgotten who I am? Issei said, startling Asia. Haidu, Issei. Ah. Ria screamed after reciting the name again. As several flashbacks of a shadowed figure stood next to her. Ria's crouched down on the floor holding her head as if it was being split open. President Ria's. Kiba, I'm scared. Asia said as she hid behind the Gremory Knight. Damn you, intruder. First you tried to attack Ryu-kun and now you're attacking our master, unforgivable. Prepare yourself, assassin. Kiba said as he materialized his holy demonic sword. Kiba, not you too. Issei said as Kiba began to charge him. Kiba began his attack on the unknown enemy and tried to slice off his head. Issei managed to with his quick reflexes dodge him. The blade narrowly missing his neck. Kiba, please, I don't want to fight you. It's me, Issei. The Red Dragon Emperor said after he backed away from the severe killing intent. Doesn't ring a bell. Kiba said after he tried to attack him again, this time using his full speed to land a hit. Damn, I don't have a choice. Ascalon. Issei shouted, unleashing his sacred gear. Blade. Issei began to fight at long last. Parrying Kiba's sword slashes, managing to keep up with his speed, surprising and angering the skilled knight. Not bad, assassin, but I'm not through yet. Kiba said, making another sword appear in his other hand. Issei managed to block the other sword by making his divine dividing gear appear on his right arm. Kiba. Duck now. Zenobia said as she unleashed the power of Durandal. Issei dared not to try block the terrifying strength of Zenobia's all-powerful holy sword and dodge the slash at the very last moment. You're quite skilled, being able to dodge that fast. But I will not let anyone who hurts my friends leave unharmed. Zenobia said as she tried to attack him again. Issei jumped out of the way and as a result, the wall of the clubroom was demolished. You can't escape. Sword birth. Kiba shouted as he stabbed his blade into the ground and created a whole bunch of swords around Issei. Damn, I'm surrounded. Issei said as the sword circled him. Skewer him now. Sword birth. Kiba said, causing the blades to point directly at the trapped devil. I have no choice. Balance break. Issei said, his body exerting a powerful ruby red aura as his armor began to appear. Kiba and Zenobia were sent flying by nothing but Issei's intense power, which managed to shatter every sword that was aimed at him. Issei decided his only option now was to escape and get his thoughts together. The Red Dragon Emperor let loose his powerful wings and shot directly through the ceiling, leaving remains of the roof on the ground as he took flight and escaped. Issei was gone in seconds, soaring through the air as he fell into deep despair. Unable to comprehend what was happening right now. President Riaz, are you okay? Asia said as she crouched down to help her. Don't worry, Asia, I will help her now. Ryu said, helping Riaz to her feet. Thank you, Ryu-san. Are you injured? Asia said, curious to see if he was hurt by that mad devil. I'm fine, thank you, Asia. So let's focus on Riaz now. Ryu said as he placed his hands around the ruined princess's waist. Hi, do Issei. Pawn. Security. It hurts. It hurts so much. What's happening to me? Riaz said in a panic. Quickly losing consciousness when Ryu whispered into her ear. President Riaz. Kiba said as Riaz stopped talking. It's alright, Kiba, she just passed out from trauma. And who could blame her after such a thing just happened? Ryu said, making Kiba understand. Oh my, what happened here while I was away? What happened to the ceiling? A voice said as they entered the room. Oh, Vice President, I'm glad to see you're alright. You see, a madman just burst in here and tried to attack Ryu-kun. He also caused the president great pain to the extent she passed out. Kiba said, alarming Akeno. Ryu-san, who was that just now? It looks like you know him. Asia said innocently as she tried to stay calm. Unfortunately, I do. You see, his name is Haidu Issei, the Red Dragon Emperor. And he is also a lead member of the powerful rebels known as Chaos Brigade. Ryu said, making everyone shocked and alert. What? Why is Chaos Brigade targeting you and the president? Zenobia said, alarmed by this revelation. Most likely, it's because Riaz is the sister of the Demon Lord and I am seen as the one closest to her to protect her. Ryu said, making Zenobia and Kiba angry at the unknown intruder. Don't worry everyone, I will get revenge for Riaz and pursue him myself. Ryu said as he placed Ria's on the sofa and walked out the hole in the room which was once a wall. A huge hole in the ground appeared when the Red Dragon Emperor lost his focus and crash landed. Issei's balance breaker deactivated on collision, showing his face as it leaked with tears. Issei began to shake as he felt a nostalgic feeling. It's just the same as before. This loneliness I feel. It's just like when my parents died and I had no one. And now everyone has forgotten who I am once again alone. Issei said, remembering Ria's face when he tried to fight off the pervert who embraced her. At this point, Issei cried out in pain and despair to the extent he could no longer hear Drake's voice. His voice being drowned out by his cries of pain and the falling rain that suddenly appeared. Issei-kun. Are you alright? What happened to you? A voice said, making Issei look up. Akeno-san. Issei said, feeling a glimmer of hope shine. Of course it's me, what happened to you? Akeno said, making Issei break down. They've all forgotten me, Akeno. Even Ria's. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm so confused. Issei said, welcoming her hug as she wrapped her arms around him. Watch out, partner. Drake shouted, but his voice was once again not heard. Issei fell to his hands and knees as he felt the cold steel pierce his body. The blade caused him to cough up blood. Akeno-san. Issei said in between coughing up blood. Not exactly. The woman said as her body began to glow. Issei's breath was taken away in an instant. The moment the light vanished and showed to him this person's true form. You are. But that's impossible. Issei said as he stared in fear at the new arrival. Ha ha. That was hilarious watching you drop your guard like that for a woman. Well, was my disguise deceiving? I do take pride in this particular skill of me, Red Dragon Emperor. The voice said, making Issei worried now. It can't be. One of the great dragon kings. Yulong, why are you here? What's going on? Issei said in a panic. Not noticing the next guest who just arrived. Are you surprised, Haidu? Issei. Well, let me answer your questions. Yulong is, you could say, my partner. And now you're going to die. Ryu said, making Issei cough up more blood. What did you do to me? Issei said as he stared at his normally red sacred gear which had now turned black and the gem's light was not responding or lighting up. Ryu yanked the blade from Issei's abdomen and lifted it up to show it to him. This is a rare treasure known as the Denjin Sutapa. This sword has the ability to seal your sacred gear and your magic power for 24 hours. So you have no way to fight back. Ryu said, making Issei angry. You bastard. Just what did you do to Rias? To my friends, Issei roared, feeling a strong desire to rip this guy's head off. It's perfect, isn't it? I met up with all of your friends. Those you care about the most. And erased you from their memories. Everything you did for them. Every heroic battle you fought. They will see me in your place. You no longer exist in this world, Haidu Issei. That is the power of my sacred gear, Kyokusachi. Ryu said, making Issei fall further into despair. You bastard. How could you do this to my friends? The people who took me in when I had no one. So it's true after all. They have truly forgotten me. Issei said as he looked at the ground, unable to hold back his tears no longer. Issei stopped crying for a second to observe the object that was just tossed in front of him. The blade that moments ago pierced him and still was tainted by his blood lay right in front of him. I'll give you the chance to end it yourself. Think of it as mercy. You no longer have a place in this world. And you had no desire to keep on living before. Didn't you want to meet with your parents again? Why waste your time here in despair when you can take that blade and end your suffering? Face it, this is the end, Haidu Issei. Whether I do it or the dragon or yourself, your life is going to end. So why not make it less painful and end it yourself? Ryu said, making Issei pick up the sword. That's it. Just let it all go. Ryu said as Issei lifted up the blade nearer his head. All of a sudden, Issei took the sword and threw it like a javelin pole directly at Ryu, stabbing him in the arm. You fool. The power of sealing is no longer active in this blade. I tried to give you the easy way out. Ryu said, making Issei retaliate. Don't fuck with me. You think I'm just going to give up on my friends? On the woman I love, I don't care if I have no power left in me. I don't care if I have to beat you with my bare hands. Either way, I'm going to defeat you and return everyone back to normal. I swear it, you bastard. Until I take my last breath, I will never give up on those who changed my life. Issei said as he got to his feet. Issei charged towards Ryu and aimed to punch his way. However, Issei was sent flying by Yulong's mighty spiked tail, smashing him into the ground. I tried to grant you mercy. Now you will be torn to shreds by the mighty dragon. It's ironic, really. Ryu said, making Yulong pierce through Issei's flesh with his mighty claws. The battle was a nightmare to see. The ground covered in puddles of blood. As time and time again, Issei was pummeled into the ground and stabbed by the fearsome dragon. Ryu stood over Issei as he lay on the ground, unable to move. Goodbye, Issei. Don't worry, I will take great care of the Gremories. Ryu said as he aimed the sword at Issei's heart. You bastard. Issei said as Ryu was moments away from piercing his heart. Come forth lightning. The voice echoed in the darkness, a lightning bolt shooting from the darkness. What is the meaning of this? Well. Akeno-san. Kaneko-chan. Ryu said to the two devils who stood in front of the severely injured Issei. Have you forgotten all we have been through, Akeno? Remember, it was I who saved you in our fight with Kakabiel. It was me who accepted you for who you are and restored your confidence. And Kaneko-chan, it was me who has always protected you. Ryu said to the two devils who glared at him menacingly. Shut up, you pervert. Kaneko-chan said, feeling angry at this man for what he did to Issei. There is only one person who I truly treasure. He has always been there for me and saved me. I deeply care about this man and I will do anything to protect him. That's right. This time I will save Issei-kun. Akeno said with determination in her eyes. Oh. I see that my sacred gear has had no effect on you. You shouldn't be able to remember this man. No matter, you long. Kill them all. Ryu said, making the dragon charge. Now Gaspy. Kaneko said, making the mighty dragon and arrogant memory manipulator turn purple. Akeno and Kaneko grabbed Issei by the arms and took flight with their wings. Their objective to get Issei as far away from danger as possible. His life was in danger and they had to save him. Issei blacked out whilst in their arms. When Issei opened his eyes again, he felt a warm heat source next to him. Issei-kun. Akeno said as soon as she saw him open his eyes. Issei-senpai. Kaneko and Gasper said together. Issei looked round the room and rubbed his eyes to make sure he was not seeing an illusion. Issei sat upright and felt a huge pain in his abdomen. Issei touched his torso and realized he was covered in bandages. Try not to move, Issei-kun. I managed to stop the bleeding, but I'm not as good as Asia at healing. So please don't push yourself too far. Akeno said, trying to support him. This is real, isn't it? How? How do you all remember me? Issei said, well aware of Ryu's power. Luckily for us, that guy's sacred gear has one flaw. Akeno said as Kaneko and Gasper gathered next to her. The sacred gear does not work on hybrids. Akeno, Kaneko and Gasper said in unison. I'm half fallen angel and devil. So I'm not a full-fledged devil. Gasper is half vampire and Kaneko is a Nekomata. So we were all unaffected by his power. Akeno said to clarify the reason they weren't victim to Ryu's power. Kaneko, you're a Nekomata. Wow, that's amazing. Issei said, making Kaneko face away to hide her sad and frightened expression. Issei-senpai. What are we going to do? Gasper said, clearly worried for his friends. There is only thing we can do, Gasper. We are going to defeat that bastard and return everyone back to normal. Issei said, making them all smile. That's Issei-kun for you. But first you need to rest up. We can formulate a plan once you're healed. Akeno said, helping Issei rest onto his bed. Yeah, I guess you're right. Issei said, complying with her. Issei closed his eyes, thinking one thing in his mind. Wait for me, Rias, I will come save you as soon as I am healed. This is the end of the video. If you enjoyed the story, then hit the like button and comment your favorite part, but for now, see you all in the next video.